Good evening everyone. It's bank holiday Monday evening and I'm just down in the part of the land we bought last year. If you remember back to probably it was around October last year, we cut the hedges in this and just piled them all up. There was a little bit of fencing done at that stage as well, kind of just dividing it up and just trying to tidy it up generally. Wasn't much work done on it for the previous probably 15 or 20 years. It had been rented out for that period of time to different clients and wasn't looked after that awfully well while it was rented out, like most rented land. So we've been trying to tidy it up and get it back into a little bit of shape. It was in 4 divisions. There's a field here and another field here on the top side. Then there was this field here, and there was a ditch then that started roughly over, where do I see, that tree there, and run up to here. There wasn't much ditch left on it. Probably 75% of the ditch was actually gone. There was just a few wee bits of trees or briars in it, and we just pulled them out of it because there was more hassle trying to divide it up than it would have been worth, because there's only like probably about 1.5 acres or 2 acres in this field here. It's about 2 acres in it, and it was better if this whole bottom area was all in the one division. So we kind of buried that in the wet spot. Now the wet spot, that's where we're doing some of the work on at the minute, and if I just walk over here you'll see kind of the way it is. This piece of land is fairly close to our yard. There's a laneway just out here that divides some of our land from this here, so it's very close by. But you can see how wet it is. You can kind of see on the field, it kind of comes across and next thing just dips down into this wet area. So what we're doing is we're trying to rise it up, and going to try and have it fairly level with the rest of the field. I have a little bit of footage taken just of how we're digging it out. What we're doing is, you can see here, this whole area here has been dug out. It's all the topsoil. The topsoil is dug off it and it's put over then in a row on top of where we've put in some of the filling. So we're putting in about 2 foot, 2.5 foot I suppose of filling in it in places. And then the topsoil, then there's about another 18 inches of topsoil that can go back into it then as well. So it's overall it's going to be raised up about 4 foot, which should bring us more or less in line with the rest of the field. And hopefully once the filling goes in and the topsoil dries out and it's leveled out on it, give it a little bit of time just to settle, we should be able to drive on it then and get some grass seed in it and do a job on it. But this does work. We had another piece of land that this was done on as well. It just had a wet corner, very similar to this, and it worked very well on it. But you'll see the bit of footage at the end of the video where the digger is digging it out. The filling, I'll show you where we're getting that from now in a second. But you can see once we've went down here to quite a bit of stone now down here on this end of it. There's water lying in it in a few places. And then the soil here, it's the water's all seeping out of it and it runs down into it. There's a drain that goes right the whole way along this bottom ditch and leads into a stream. So it has got possibilities for the water to soak away, but just the fact that it's so low here, it's very hard for it to soak away. When it's ris up, it should make all the difference. But I'll go up and show you now where we're getting the topsoil from. Sorry, where we're getting the filling from. Now, so I'm just up where we're getting the filling. As you can see down below us here is the wet area. So we're just in the field up above that. And if you look down to the bottom half, this is the gateway here where you get into the bottom field. But from the gateway right up, there's a gradual incline initially. But once you get just down below where the topsoil is stripped, it becomes steeper. So we decided to kind of knocked 2 boards out with the 1 stone here. We're going to take the sharpness and steepness out of this hill by removing all this filling, and by removing it and putting it down here, we're going to get rid of the wet spot. That's the plan anyway. So yeah, like as you can see, we've already took 4 foot. It's got to 4 foot here in the highest point off this hill. We'll probably end up having to take a little bit more than that, but initially if we level it off to that point, see how we're going, how much more filling we need, and if we need another bit, we can take another foot off it. It's no problem. So yeah, once we've that done, it's only a matter then pull all the topsoil back over it, level it out, give it a run with the power harrow, and put a bit of grass seed in it. This here will be a bit easier to put back than the bottom bit. The bottom bit is going to need some time to dry out, but we'd be fairly confident that it'll work. But we'll just have to keep an eye on it. That's all the work we're doing on it until next weekend. If it's dry next weekend, we'll do another Saturday and Sunday at it, and it'll be another bit done. So it's a little bit elaborate, but it'll be worth it in the long run. When it's a piece of ground for yourself and of your own, it'll definitely be worth it in the long run to have that dry. There's over an acre, and it's been almost an acre and a half, I'd say, in that wet area, and it's just waste ground if you don't do something with it, you know. All it's growing is rushes. So yeah, so I'll just drive around now. We'll have a wee look at the fencing. Some people ask me what way we fenced it. I'll show you some of the fencing that was done. Yeah, so I had a few people on to me about the fence on it, and would I take a little video of it just to show the kind of fence that we have put up. It's fairly straightforward and simple. The boundary fence is all new posts and 4 strands of wire on this section of it. There is another section folded around, but there isn't just as good a ditch as there is here, and we put 5 strands on it. But yeah, 4 strands of wire, all new posts. The end posts are sleepers because they're not sleepers, they're ESB poles that we cut a little bit stronger, and they'll last very well. That's why we use them. That's basically the kind of fence that we put up around the whole exterior of it. Put up a few new gates on it. This gate here, it's only up. It's actually 2 old style farm gates, like what you would have had 80 years ago on most farms. There was a single sized gate there, and it was just an old damaged kind of gate, and was falling down, so we widened it and put these 2 gates here in, thinking it looks nice enough. Kind of gives it a bit of an old feel to it when you're coming down the lane and you see them. They're in perfect condition, those gates, so a bit of a waste. We had them, they were just kind of knocking around the yard, and we said we'd put them up there and use them. We've actually 2 more similar style gates on another piece of land further down that lane, and it kind of matches in with that. So yeah, it's nice to use them again. They probably haven't been up anywhere in 20 years plus, but they're absolutely perfect. As good as the first day. They never rust. The type of steel that they use in them was fantastic. So yeah, not too bad. So I'll just show you the boundary, or that's the boundary ditches. I'll show you the interior ditches next, and how we've done those. Now this is the interior fence. Now the interior fence on this part of it is quite similar to the exterior, because the ditch that we cut last October, it's too low to get nailing on any of the wire onto it, so we had to use posts on that end of it. But then you can see here, ground level drops a little bit, and it allows you then that you can nail on your strands of wire onto the actual ditch itself. And that's kind of how it works the whole way up. There is a few areas that there had to be a few posts put in, just because the ditch wasn't it wasn't just working out properly that you could nail it onto it. So yeah, this works well, because if you cut your hedge to about 1.5 meters, as this is cut to about 1.5 meters, maybe just less than that in places, and get your wire nailed onto it. The following year, when the growth comes in springtime, I know it's a bit late of a spring, but it's getting there. You can see the growth is starting to come on it. What happens is then the growth comes much lower down than what it was in previous years because you've cut it, and it starts to fill out all the gaps that you have here. So eventually, might take a couple of years, but it'll grow in and close up the likes of this gap here, and it leaves it then that cattle can't see gaps. You know yourself, if cattle can't see through something, a lot of times they think they can't get through it. Not that I've seen a few cattle that wouldn't put them off, but yeah, so that's really it. There's also a few little bits like this here. See the way there's a little bit of a low spot here where the stones in the ditch down below have fell out, and it let soil away. And what we'll do is we'll try and gather up maybe a dozen biggish flat stones, and we'll build them back into the ditch, and I'll get some soil maybe in the teleporter bucket, fill that back up, and just flatten it out, and that'll close that gap up then. But there's 2 or 3 places like that needs little bits of maintenance done on them, but we'll get that done. When we have everything else done, we'll do that at the very end. So yeah, so that's kind of where the tidying up of the piece of ground is at the minute. But yeah, it's great to have all the exterior fences done, because now we can get some livestock into this next week. There's a batch of the Waylands from last year that is grazing in a paddock over near the yard, and they'll be moving up here, I'd say around mid to end of the week. As soon as they've that paddock eaten, they're going well on it at the minute, so we'll have cattle in here then to eat it down, because like there is some great grass here in this end of it. Really did want to be probably locked in this top field here. I was slurried a few times because it's really dry, and yeah, get it eaten down. So yeah, so that's really it for now. I'll stick up a couple of other few clips of the digger working from earlier, and you can have a look at those now. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.